Today we're doing lesson 9, sensory details. I can use sensory details in my story. So first, we are going to look at some writing from Cinderella, which is a version of Cinderella, and we are going to look for sensory details in that section of writing. Okay, I'm going to underline places I see sensory details. So as a reminder, sensory details are things we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Then I tap Cendrillon. Her poor calico dress, so that's describing the dress, what it looks like, was changed to a trailing gown of sky blue velvet. That's another description of what the dress looks like. Upon her head sat a turban just as blue, pinned with a tremblant pin of gold. So these are all sensory details describing what something looks like. She had a silk shoulder scarf of pale rose, rings in her ear, bracelets, and a necklace of 4 strands of gold beads bigger than peas. So these are all really good descriptions of what Cendrillon looks like. Upon her feet were elegant pink slippers embroidered with roses. It was enough to hurt my eyes to look at the darling. Finally, I turned my washerwoman's shift into a fine red dress. I would chaperone Cendrillon as suited a proper young lady. So this page has a lot of sensory details for what we would see. Okay, so now I'm going to look back at the sensory details that I came up with. So these are some sensory details I came up with for my setting. Bluish gray ice shimmering in the morning light, snow-capped mountains against the blue sky, the wind blowing, cool wind, and fresh air. Now I'm going to think about how I might be able to add these and other sensory details to my story. So I'm going to start reading through my story and think of places I can add sensory details. A fluffy Arctic fox sat at the opening of his den, looking out at the icy landscape. Snow started to fall gently, covering the mountains with a fresh white coat of snow. It seems like a perfect day to go ice skating, Snowball thought. Snowball raced inside and grabbed his ice skates. Now I think I could describe what the ice skates look like, so I'm going to add that in here. I'm going to write that the silver, I'm going to make it clear that this is a different part. The silver blades glistened. Okay. And then here I put, he ran to his favorite pond and strapped on his ice skates. So maybe I can describe some of the sensory details that he's seeing as he runs to the pond. So I'm going to change it to say, as he ran to his favorite pond, and then I'm going to add some parts in here. The cool wind blew against, the cool wind blew against his cheeks. He looked out at the pond the bluish gray ice shimmered in the morning light. The snow-capped mountains stood, and I'm going to create some space here, against the blue sky. actually want to change it to say against the clear blue sky. Against the clear blue sky. And then I'm going to keep reading. So as he ran to his favorite pond, the cool wind blew against his cheeks. He looked out the pond, the bluish-gray eyes shimmer in the morning light. The snow-capped mountain stood against the clear blue sky. And then I'm going to change it to say, instead of and strapped on his ice skates, it will say he strapped on his ice skates. And then I put he turned and twirled. And I'm going to describe what it looked like on the ice as his ice skates left these grooves in the ice. So he turned and twirled. The sharp blades leaving grooves in the ice. So now that I've added some sensory details into my story, I'm going to continue writing my story. So I need to look at my story arc and see where I am. Okay. So I have the part with the letter arriving, then Snowball practices for ice skating competition. Okay. I'm going to win this for you, Mom, Snowball whispered. So now Snowball's going to begin practicing. Beep, beep, beep. Snowball slowly opened his eyes and rolled over to look at his alarm. It was 5:00 a.m. It's time to practice, he thought. Snowball pulled on his skating suit. Snowball pulled on his skating suit. Some wool socks, black snow boots, and a cozy hat. He picked up his backpack with his ice skates. He picked up his backpack with his ice skates and tiptoed out of the den. Once Snowball got outside, he dashed toward the ice. As he stared out at the shimmering ice, he beamed. He strapped on his ice skates and started to glide across the ice. He skated backwards and then launched into a triple axel. He fell. I guess I need more practice. He murmured. He practiced his triple axel again, but each time he tripped and fell. He glanced at his watch. It read 7 o'clock. Oh no! James, Kevin, and Oliver will be awake soon. I need to grab breakfast, he thought. He took off his skates, put on his boots, and galloped toward the den. Scanning the snow as he ran for food. He saw a polar bear walking away from some scraps and he ran over to pick them up. Okay, second graders, today I would like you to read through your story and add sensory details, and then I want you to continue working on your story for about 10 minutes. Just continue writing it. Okay.